Hello and welcome to Distinctly Average, episode 7, where we talk about the weekly news. This week, there was not a lot of news. I mean, what did we get? We had GTA came up with some artwork. Not screenshots, artwork. So it was a guy in a car.
Yeah, guy in a car and...
It's a bit shocking for GTA.
I know. Dude in a car, wearing a baseball cap, looking up into the sky.
He's actually broken into a car. I actually come to look at it at second glance, actually. Just realised.
I have to say, it is...
Racist.
It is Grand Theft Auto.
It is Grand Theft Auto. Everyone breaks into cars. Like, where do the cars come from? Do people buy... Who buys cars?
What's the insurance premium?
Who buys cars?
Nobody would buy cars, because the insurance premiums are insane, because they always get stolen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think these artwork was released part of the 4th of July over in the Americas, but I didn't get the connection between the 4th of July and the celebration over there.
I'm guessing it's just, hey, it's a holiday, woo, GTA.
Okay, cool. Any opportunity for Rockstar to release artwork?
Attention.
And get people talking about it like us.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's made the news, hasn't it?
It made the God We're Desperate for news. The second one was a dude playing a video game sitting on a bed.
Yeah, I think
probably a bed.
He's
World's smallest bed.
It's the main protagonist's son and daughter, from what I remember in the video clips that they were showing us in the trailer.
Oh, Michael, the old dude.
Michael's son and daughter, I think. I mean, he had a fat son and a daughter in a bikini. So
He's got a bong.
and he's got a bong.
He's got a bong. He's got an
Xbox controller.
Yeah,
Clearly an Xbox controller.
Crisp's Pizza and something that looks like the In-N-Out Burger logo, but isn't the In-N-Out Burger logo.
This is always
It's a homage.
So,
and obviously somebody, his sister or something, shoving out her boobs.
happy for
As all sisters do when they walk in and you're playing games.
Now, what else? Another thing that happened is Xbox One. It ships with a headset. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It doesn't. Now, what happened was Gem, who were a big UK distributor, I believe, hardware distributor, released a pamphlet saying, oh, it comes with a bundled headset. But pretty much everyone who's reached out to Microsoft for comment, Microsoft have said, no, it doesn't. But we are working on an adapter. So anyone who's Xbox support tweeted that they're working on an adapter. So everyone who, spent crap loads of money on an Astra, they will be able to use their stuff, which is nice, because, those things are expensive. But still no headset. Like, are you bothered about the lack of headset?
To be honest, I was happier to sing Microsoft's praises having a headset as well as a second controller, which doesn't normally come in a pack of a brand new console. From which I gathered, there was 2 controllers, a headset, and a Kinect, which made it sound just as cool to have that in that bundle for that 400 and how much was it? 400 and something pounds.
$429.
$429.
The basic chip bundle.
Yeah.
I do not believe for a second it would have come with a second controller.
On the flip side, on the PS4, just had one controller, no camera, no headset. So I was a bit bothered by this, but
yeah. I mean, they did say you can use a Kinect. No, you can't. Playing any multiplayer game when you're using the Kinect, it picks up all the... If you're using a proper surround sound system, it picks up all the sound and everyone else just has to deal with your shitty echo. Don't play. Please don't play with Kinect open. Now, that's not the only headset news that was out. Nick, you saw some crazy Australian thing, wasn't it?
I don't know where. I actually don't know where the company's from. It's an internet company. I probably think it's in America because they do mention that the headset they've produced isn't supported by the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration. I think it's Federal Drug Administration in America.
Whatever it is, it's the thing that has to approve all potentially health related.
Basically, it's a headset that has 4 electrodes that go on your head like this. It looks a bit like this. And it zaps your brain in a very similar fashion to electroconvulsive therapy does when you're treating somebody who has bipolar and other disorders.
Why would you want to burn your brain?
Apparently, you can. So you're not burning your brain.
But that's what electroconvulsive therapy is.
You're energizing your brain. So it has to give you that edge. This is a very stupid thing to do. So it's You
might point out that Nick used to be a medical professional. Is a qualified medical professional.
Don't do this. It's actually quite funky because you have the headset. You can also have an iPhone app, and you can adjust the voltage that's being blasted through your skull using the iPhone app. You can do it between 5 and 40 minutes. But essentially, it's like if you feel you need that kick to actually get playing your games and you want to have that extra edge, then they're saying
not that fun.
for $249 you can blast your own brain in the comfort of your home.
But like, is it specially tuned to blast happy rays, or is it just?
No, there is some.
Zap.
There isn't an awful lot of information available. It is for $249. You can get this headset, not supported by the FDA.
I'm not surprised.
Don't use it for a long time. Here's an
called?
app. It's called the Focus, which is and it's got a little dot between the US, so it's FOC.US.
It does sound like, I mean, I play Call of Duty. It might be beneficial if it's making reaction times faster, but
that episode of South Park, or was it the movie where Cartman gets shot
Yes.
every time he says a bad word?
Yes.
That I could get behind.
It's totally this. You could do this with this. You could be sitting there with the control, the iPhone control, with somebody else with the headset on and go. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Faggot. Bzz.
But let's just say I had this headset and someone I was playing online in, I don't know, a first-person shooter didn't have it. It would give me a significant edge over the competition, but then in the long term, brain damage. So it's not probably good to use.
Well, you actually have no idea whether it's going to cause brain damage or not. It's a headset, and there's just no evidence base on it to come out with a conclusion like saying this is bad or this is good. However, would you trust something from the internet to put on your head and fire your brain full of electricity?
My famous quote: "Is it safe?"
Nobody knows. It's not approved by the FDA or anybody else, apparently.
So we don't approve.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Not if you want to live.
I'd wait for other people to fry their brains first.
There was a PlayStation 4. Technically not a PlayStation 4 event. It was a Sony event, but basically all anyone cared about was a PlayStation 4. And Sean got to go. You saw Second Son, infamous Second Son, wasn't it? How was it?
It was beautiful. I mean, most people, when we're talking about next gen, we think of graphics, and this was the first game I saw on a PS4, and it blew my mind. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this in any generation. So that was the first thing I noticed when we did look at Second Son. It was hands off. The guy that was playing it, he was just showing us what the new moves were. He's just talking to us about the interactivity within the game itself. So you can now pass through like kind of grates where coal in the previous games couldn't, so it was always an obstruction.
Pass through what?
Grates and like fences and
great, like go into the sewers.
you can go into pipes that take you up onto drain pipes, and you can pass through like steel fences, and just this
This is empowered you to being
so it's empowered
power, is it?
Yeah,
Is that like what, you can just walk through a grate now?
yeah. Well, you kind of turn yourself into kind of like a split second of a fireball and pass through things, and your clothes still magically doesn't get burnt. So
Are there any Ninja Turtles in it?
I didn't see it in Ninja Turtles, but
You're in the sewers, man.
yeah, no, it was I mean, yeah.
Dude, it's not New York.
I have no idea yet. But what he did confirm for us on Second Son was it was set obviously 8 years after the previous Infamous 2. Without giving too much spoilers, it continues after your good ending. I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end in case you haven't played it. So it's just the events that followed after that. And it looked amazing. And the touchpad kind of, he was doing moves with the touchpad itself, and it just big CGI.
So what's
kind of,
that? Like draw patching on the touchpad and it pops up your firepower? Or?
I think he did some kind of symbol, unless he just touched one button on a touchpad. He used a touchpad definitely.
Because it's clicky.
It's
You
clicky.
click the touchpad,
You clicked it, and it did the animation of your character. I forgot his name, but he just launches himself into the air and smiled at the camera, kind of cheekily, and then just exploded everything around him in a kind of a wide destruction. Yeah, I can't even think of the word. It was just crazy.
Blow shit up.
Yeah, but no, it was cool. It would have been great to get hands on, but it's still early days into it. I'm a fan of the Infamous games, and it looks like a great addition to the series, and I'll take my hat off to them. It looks good.
So what other powers have you got?
I think it's only fire at the moment, but then again, Cole only had electricity at the start, and then he developed some other powers, unless they haven't shown us anything yet.
Okay.
It's
So
just
fire
the
and climbing into drains.
Fire and climbing into drains, which is awesome anyway. I mean, it seems so...
I always wanted to climb into a drain. That's why I play video games.
It seems so sadistic with the whole fire thing, but as the dev was telling us, Cole was a bit of a goody two-shoes, or you can make him really bad, whereas this guy, he's in his early 20s, so he's a bit of a rival.
He's bad anyway.
He's bad, so it's going to be good to have this kind of running around with flames.
Bad youth.
It's so cool, though, and I want to enjoy it. Can I get a PS4?
Okay, so you've been playing some cool games this week. What have
Wouldn't
you?
go that far. I played The Walking Dead 400 Days, which is the new DLC for Telltale's Walking Dead. It came out on PC, I think Tuesday, Xbox on Friday. I don't know if it's coming out on PS3. But yeah, it's a bridging episode between season 1 and season 2. And the problem is, it feels like a bridge and nothing but a bridge.
So it's not the start of season 2?
No, season 2 is not coming until fall, which I guess is September through to December, sometime in there. But what it does, you start off in a pit stop, as they call it, which is kind of a gas station, roadside stop thing. And you look at a board, and there's just these 5 characters shown on the board, and you pick one, and you get to play them for about 15 to 20 minutes. So, but the problem is you never really spend enough time with each character to A, get to know them, B, get to know any of their friends or people in their story. And each story ranges from the first guy, his story starts 2 days after the zombie outbreak. The last one is 260 days after the zombie outbreak, and then you looking at this pit stop, you looking at this pit stop, that's now 400 days after the outbreak. So, if they'd explored how the world had changed over those days, I would have found it more interesting, but it doesn't really. Everyone is still... There are zombies,
Would you say that, as it's a bridging episode, I just realised it's a bridging episode, we're never going to be able to feel for the characters because we had 5 awesome episodes with Lee and Clementine, so anyone that's only going to be available for the bridge, we're never going to understand or care about if it's only a short thing.
Well, that's the thing. Because it's a bridge, I believe that it's setting the backstory for these characters, so we meet them in season 2. Okay. Then we're like, oh, that decision, I remember making that decision, God, that was horrible. But it never is horrible, because, I've had 5 episodes of, oh God, this is horrible, I had this bond with a guy, and now I have to save either her or him from being killed by a zombie, whereas this is like, well, I'm a prison guy, how do I break out? I guess I'll just stab this guy in the neck, or whatever.
Any decisions from your completion of the previous Walking Dead transfer into this bridging episode?
Not that I'm aware. I played the previous ones. Nick hasn't finished it yet, so we won't spoil anything. It yet. But we don't see Clem, we don't see Lee, we don't see anyone we've met before. It's near Atlanta, but it's not in Atlanta. It's just some random pit stop nearby. So maybe, if you were paying attention, we would have driven past it in one of the previous episodes. I didn't notice the pit stop.
How long is it? I mean, you said it's a few characters, 20 minutes each. Are we looking at a good 2 hours?
90 minutes.
90 minutes?
Wow. Yeah. And there's not even that much happens. Like, there's one memorable but unmemorable scene where you're just walking through fog. And they're like pushing the forward button going, fucking walk faster, man. You're in fog in zombies. You can creep. But he's not. He's just like... Ugh.
Oh, right. Is it worth the 400 mark? Is it 400 marks points, isn't it?
I paid £4.
Okay.
So on Steam. I found it disappointing. Given that I believe it's the same price as the original episodes were.
It was, yeah, because the half price was the 200. So yeah, it would have been 400 for each episode.
Yeah.
But
at the same time, you need to play it because season 2 will, I believe it'll have these characters in it. So without seeing the decisions they made, and maybe your motivations for doing them, you will lose that little bit of bonding, as it were. But, don't get too excited about it. That's all I'm saying. Maybe wait until September or, fall, whenever season 2 is coming out. Right now,
And it'll be in the Steam sale, probably.
It might be in the Steam sale, exactly.
Amazing Steam sales.
Yeah.
Well, knowing how I played through Walking Dead, I waited for the sale, so I guess I'm going to wait for season 2 to start before I even play the bridging episode. because of your recommendation of it just being a bit meh.
No. Well, the problem is there's no consequences.
Oh, right.
Like, there's a little bit of consequence, but mostly you make the decisions, and I'm sure the consequences will be explored in season 2. But right now, it's just, oh, I made that decision, and the episode closes. Sorry, the section closes. Like, okay, what's next? Nothing. Nothing is next until fall. Ugh. So disappointed.
Cool.
Sean, you've been playing Spartacus Legends, right?
Yes.
Any good?
So, Spartacus Legends.
Naked men.
There is actually quite a bit of nakedness actually in there.
Why did nobody tell me about this game?
Because we know how excited it would be if we told you.
Naked muscly dudes.
Are we talking like 300 kind of Gerard Butler, six-packs everywhere?
There is, but, well, I'll say 6-packs.
8-pack?
Unfortunately, the graphics won't let us see that much detail.
Are they oiled?
You could say that. There's a lot of Vaseline. So, Spartacus...
That's a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah.
What is this game?
It doesn't sound as great as I'm making it. So Spartacus Legends came out only recently on the PlayStation and the Xbox. I think 25th of June for the PS3 and 26th of June for the Xbox. It's from Ubisoft and it's one of the available titles for free to download on the Xbox. I'm assuming it's probably not free on the PS3 if it was one of our exclusive 2 games a month that we're getting. Our exclusives.
What's this? Yeah, sorry.
It's our club, you should join us. But not because of Spartacus Legends, because it's not that great, unfortunately.
What's wrong with it?
It's so basically in the game, it's a fighting game that you face other gladiators. It's a spin-off from the show. That's the Spartacus show in America, so it's made by the Stars Company. It seems it boldly at the start.
That had lots of nudity in it.
That did have lots of nudity, and the game's an 18s, which kind of fits in with the show. With the nudity.
Any bumming?
No, there is not. It's probably not enough. Actually,
I
not.
don't
Is that
know,
why it's bad?
Was there male nudity or female nudity?
There's,
It's like the show had all of nudity.
it's a fighting. I mean, I like fighting games, and even if I didn't, I don't think I would have purchased this game at any kind of price.
Why? What's wrong?
So what's wrong with it is it's not graphically good.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Agree.
play like a fighting game because it's so glitchy and it's just like you remember when you used to play PC kind of cheap Flash games back in the day, just like random the buttons. It feels like it's a better looking. Yeah, and that's what it. I mean, if you get a chance to pick it up, it's free, so you can't really complain. But
You can.
okay, you can complain
You
that
spend
it's
time downloading. You spend time playing. And people are playing too.
yeah. So I mean, I find myself kind of glitching through people. Some of the connections between your moves and the person's body doesn't kind of make sense because it's not touching sometimes. The interactivity is kind of poor. I guess the only cool thing about it, which separates it from most other video games, is you can kind of level up, not other video games, other fighting games, so you can level up your kind of characters. You can earn money to buy new armor for your head and cover up your body, which is the opposite of what the game should be doing.
Is that because it's free or is it only in-game money? Like, are we talking in-app purchases now?
So you got gold that you earn within the game, but like app games, you can also earn gold by spending your actual real life money and putting it into the game, which I don't think you would want to do anyway unless you really love the game.
You get gold by spamming your friend on Facebook and Twitter and other social networks.
If it did that, I think it would be even worse.
Alright, so it doesn't do that, so that's one tick in the box right there.
What's
Or at
really
least not a cross.
Nudity, tick. Not spamming your mates, tick. Everything
like
else.
the easiest way to gain points ever.
Gameplay, no.
I tell you,
You should watch the TV show then.
I don't watch the TV show. I'm not really into.
No, should you just watch the TV
Oh, should you watch it?
If
Yes.
you had a choice of the game or the TV show, what would you spend your time doing?
The show. I mean, at least you get nudity in the show.
There you go.
Proper. No.
Is that how we watch TV?
No, we don't. That sounds so terrible.
Sean watches TV show. Sean watches TV for the nudity
I guess
and the internet.
the terrible thing, the most upsetting thing about the game, apart from everything else I've listed, was the Xbox Live playability. Because with every game that we have a chance to play now these days, we can join our friends, invite friends. It's completely random as soon as you hit Xbox Live. So when you go into the game, you choose what character you want to take into the game. It say, oh, well, let's do some other stuff while we can't connect you into a game. And you can't even play with your friends. It's random people.
Okay.
So.
Oh, has it got any crappy Kinect integration?
No.
Can you wave your hands in front of the Kinect and pretend you're fighting?
It's not better with Kinect. It doesn't use Kinect.
It doesn't?
And I guess Connect could make it better. I guess.
No.
No, it really
That would
doesn't.
be insane.
It looks, yeah. Well, it's a shame, but that's Spartacus Legends for you. It's free on the Xbox.
So avoid it, even though it's free.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's sad. I mean, I guess it falls into the category of spin-offs really not shouldn't be touched, and it does
Avoid.
with your life.
Now, Nick and I actually did a live action game last week, which was by Lynx Lynx, the lovely deodorant people. So yeah, Nick, what were they doing?
So they've been running this Lynx Space Academy thing, which is people put their profiles online and other people vote for them. They essentially want a couple of people to shoot into space. So it's like the Virgin Galactic experience, but there's another company that's going to do it. So it's going to be your pilot and the person who wins sent off into orbit for a nice bit of sort of floating around and then come back to Earth. So they have whittled down to the top 250 people, and they're going to put them through this Lynx Space Academy, which is going to be some mental tests, I think, and then physical tests. So we were doing the physical test, which is a giant inflatable assault course that's actually used by the British Army. Doesn't look particularly involved. It's only takes like a minute and just over a minute and a bit to get around, but oh my god, it's knackering.
It really is.
Really so tiring.
And because it's bouncy castle type stuff. They have hair. So running around on this bouncy castle, my hair is just going. It's not fun. I touched a guy because they have these guys. These guys are standing on the side.
Guy.
Stop it. They have these guys, safety guys, basically. So if you fall off, because I think bounces freaking everywhere. If you fall off, they're there to make sure you don't actually break your neck. And yeah, one of them reached out and he went, bzz, and then he ran away.
Yeah, the whole event was actually had Charlie Webster, Commander Webster. She's a TV presenter, and in a skin-tight white suit, and they had other girls who were there and also had a skin-tight white suit. So whereas Debbie, you were against one of the other team, I was against one of the other girls who totally cheated halfway through and skipped.
She actually did.
She really did. She skipped off course. So there's me panting, trying to get around and grabbing all the inflatable things and climbing up and jumping down. And she just skipped round one and a half.
She ran around the side.
She ran around the side. And it's like, yay, I've won. It's like, yeah, she won. But yeah, it was really knackering. And it was really fun. And we got some good footage of us sort of locking around the course. But
yeah, I do have to say, like, I've always looked at I'm not exactly fit, but I've always looked at gladiators and be like, yeah, one day I could probably totally do something like that. No, I'm terrible. I would die. Thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe if you enjoyed the show. And next week we will have, you played Splinter Cell Blacklist, which we're not allowed to talk about. We will definitely talk about it next week. And also, Scourge Outbreak just came out, so we'll have a look at that as well. Thank you, and goodbye.
bye.